Ladies and gentlemen, your boy is back. I don't know if it's gonna be for a little second or a long time, guys. I've been really busy with real estate. I just picked up my bartending license. I'm just really enjoying the civilian side of life. But today is my birthday. And my boy called me up and he was like, "Yo, I was looking over your YouTube channel, and there's one video that you never ever made of all the videos that you ever talked about." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Like, bro, I've pretty much covered everything. He was like, "No, you haven't." I was like, "What are you talking about?" He was like, "You never actually talked about what it's like being a mortarman, my actual job. Out of all this time, I've never ever made a video about actually being a mortarman." So in today's video, y'all are going to be able to find out what it's like being a mortarman in the United States Marine Corps. All right, guys. So I made this entire video, and I was like, "Dang, I really need to harp on this, guys." When I just say mortarmen are just the chillest people in the Marine Corps, I'm gonna just show you just two videos, and it's just gonna explain just how mortarmen are. Before we get into the video, I hope you enjoy it.
Here's the walkway right into the door. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our mustaches as we forgive those mustacheless against us. Amen.
You may enter.
Our fortified defense. Back into our wall. Into Gypsy Town with the Grand Mortarman. All hail Grand Mortarman.
All hell, Grand Mortarman.
Hey, son, hold my flare. Hold on. Hold my cigarettes and hold my lighter. This is for gold. Here we go with the Olympics here. Oh, yeah. Judges, what up the scorecards?
Judges?
That's a 10. Okay. There we go.
All right, anybody new? Hello, my name is Trell the Great. I'm here to help you better understand what it's going to be like in the Marine Corps, a real raw perspective, not all the good and not all the bad, a mixture of both to give you a picture of what it's going to really be like. But in today's video, we're going to be talking about being a mortarman in the United States Marine Corps, what it's like, the process, all that good stuff. Throughout the video, I'll probably throw in some pictures of me and some videos of like us dropping rounds and doing drills and stuff like that. But what is it like? So after you graduate boot camp, go to SOI. When I went in, it was still called SOI. We did a month of just learning basic 0311 skills, and then after that, we went to our respected MOSs that we're going to be training into. So if you are 11, you go do that. Machine gunner 0331 and mortarman 0341, and then 52s and all the other stuff. So yeah, mortarman training. SOI was tough. We had some pretty hardcore instructors. They had been on a couple combat deployments. Pretty tough guys. I remember staying up, writing my pre-fire safety checks. Like they were making us write like 50 times each. And there's like 7 or 8 pre-fire safety checks. Pretty sure it's 7. It's been a minute. But yeah, writing that 50 times each, 7 times in a row. So all 50 times each. Just pounding gun drills, just learning about the mortar system. You're gonna take a lot of classes just on mortars, just like the system itself, each component, the rounds, all that stuff. And a lot of people think there's a lot of math involved. There's really not. God, honest truth, there's really not a lot of math involved in being a mortarman. But we'll get into that later in the video. But if you're one of those that are like, I want to be a mortarman, but I'm not good at math, just do it. You're not going to really be using math. But yeah, SOI was SOI. Got to the fleet, and man, rough. Like as a new guy, we had to carry all the gear. So you got the actual mortar tube itself, the bipods. You got the sight box, you got the base plate, you got the A bag, you got the state bag. So there's like 6 pieces of gear that come with the actual mortar rounds, and then if you had a mortar system, and then you have mortar rounds as well if you got to take that with you. So it was only 3 of us, so we had to carry all of that. Of course, we're running all the ranges, but like, what is it really like? It's really honestly dependent on your unit. My first deployment, we were kind of attached to lines, so that means we're attached to 11. So we were doing a lot of handheld shooting in handheld. So you're not using the bipod; you're actually running up and like shooting, like it's almost like a potato launcher. It's really fun. It's a really dope job. We were mostly doing handheld and stuff like that. And my first deployment, we were doing a lot of mounts, so knocking down doors, all that kind of stuff, clearing houses, all that. So we were running around a lot, and so it was just really tough because you had to still carry all your gear and your rifle, your pack, and like I said, if you got ammo, you got to do all these ranges, all this stuff, and then you might have to set up and shoot, then pick up, run, catch up with the 11s, help them clear the mount town, stuff like that. But it was really fun though. It was really fun. Very intense job at times. But my second deployment was, well, before I get to my second deployment, advanced school. I went to advanced school, AMC, which is one of the hardest courses in the Marine Corps just because of 1 week. It's called FDC week. But advanced school is worth it, but it sucks. It sucks so that you have to go back through that rehazing phase where your instructor's just pounding you into the dirt. You learn every single detail there is to learn about mortars pretty much in that school. You're doing like hella hikes and field ops. You're going to shoot so many rounds. But the math part is what people associate with FDC, and that's what is getting all the data to relay back to the gun. So the way it actually works is that you have an FO. So the FO is who's spotting the targets and who's giving direction, distance, stuff like that. That FO is going to shoot it to the FDC. The FDC, the Fire Direction Center, is going to take all the information, that distance, the direction, all that stuff, altitude, and they're going to formulate it into this little disc. It looks like we call it like a disco table, and they're going to plot all these points because you're basically going to put a map on that actual little spinning wheel, and you're going to be plotting dots and doing lines, all this different stuff, getting the data for the actual gun. So anyways, FDC gets that data, doing their process, and that's what you might have to use math in. And it's very easy math. And guess what? You can have a freaking calculator, so you don't even have to use your brain. You just got to be able to type in numbers and just know how to actually do the math. But that's it as far as math part. But yeah, FDC gets the data. They relay it to the guns. That gunner is going to put that data into that sight, is going to aim it on these stakes. You'll see these red stakes and things. They're going to aim it in on those stakes. And then once you're good and you got the right proper sight picture, that gunner's going to brace bipods. That ammo man's going to pass that freaking round to that A gunner, and that A gunner's going to drop that round. Is going to make sure that gunner's good, and you're going to drop the round, and boom, you're dropping freaking warheads on foreheads. And it's a very fun job. A lot of people will hate though on mortars because in the field, sometimes you're not going to be right up with the 11s or with the machine gunners. You're going to be back in the rear, chilling like a villain. You're just going to set up, and you're basically support. So the actual, mission for the mortar squad is really to be able to cover the movement to the target and to also cover the egress. So you got to be able to bombard and help shape the battlefield, because you got 81s too, which is a different type of mortar, and you got 120s, you got all that stuff. You got artillery that's going to get involved, but you're going to help shape the battlefield. You're going to make sure that everyone can get to their prospective spots to where they need to be on the battlefield. And then, when the mission is accomplished and they're egressing, then you're going to be able to cover their egress and stuff like that. Also, mortars are used in specific ways in a defensive posture and all this different stuff. So I can go, endless. We can talk about mortars all day long. But yeah, it's a fun job though. It's a fun job. But yeah, people are going to hate on you because you're going to be chilling sometimes because you just got to set up and you're just waiting. You know what I'm saying? The 11s machine gunners are going to do their thing. You're just chilling until you get a fire mission, until somebody calls up, they got an enemy target that they need to hit, or a machine gun bunker or something like that. But if they don't got anything to call in, you're just chilling. You're just waiting, just holding security. And a lot of people just say that we just get good at spades, playing cards, because all we do is chill in the field, and they hate. But then at the same time, everybody wants to go hang out with mortars because we're usually the coolest dudes because we just chill and we just relax and we just vibing outside and just it's just great. But don't get it wrong. Sometimes you're gonna really be working. Like I said, you might have to run around. You're gonna have to be carrying all the mortar gear plus your rifle plus your pack. Your flak's gonna be on. Kevlar is gonna be on, and you're gonna have ammo that you gotta run. So it can get very intense, but definitely doing handheld probably one of the dopest things ever to just be able to literally hold it like a potato gun, just hold it out and just aim and it is a technique. It's not luck. Like you got to line the tube up and line with your body, all kind of stuff. You got to know how to aim it, with the muzzle of the actual tube. So it is very, very fun for the most part, but it's also a very dangerous and a very important job. Because if you get that sight data wrong and you're dropping live rounds, whether it's in combat training, and you don't have that right sight data on, literally it can be one number off, could be 10 meters, and that could be the difference between hitting your target and hitting friendlies. So it's a very important job that you have to really take serious. So that's why usually the mortarmans are gonna have the higher GT scores, just because you gotta have some kind of wits too. You get some kind of smarts because it is a very important job. And like I said, one little mistake could be the end of everything. You can be really ending, some people's lives and stuff like that. But for the most part, it was a job that I would continuously do. Honestly, I miss dropping rounds. I miss it. It's just, I don't know, the feeling of just being able to just drop like 10 rounds in like 30 seconds, or what I'm saying, just continuously doing fire missions. And mortars do cool things, so shoot a loom and all these different things, and be able to do work with aircraft and support them. It's just so many different things that mortars can be used. And actually being a mortarman, you're usually going to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. So you're going to be good, of course, at your own MOS, but you're going to most likely cross train a lot, because when mortars are not really necessarily needed, you're going to be needed somewhere else. So you might become 11s and be clearing houses, or you might go help machine guns, help run ammo, and they'll usually let you shoot the 240, stuff like that. So I would say it's probably one of the best infantry MOSs to be in, just because you get that chill factor and you also get the opportunity to just learn so many different MOSs. But it's so harder for those MOSs to come learn yours, because there's just so much that goes into it. So I'm very, very grateful to have been a mortarman. But yeah, advanced school was freaking, it was tough. It was tough, but it was definitely worth it. And that just makes you a subject matter expert at being a mortarman. And then my second deployment, we mostly were just setting up, chilling in the snow in Korea. It was so horrible. And that's just the bad thing, because when you're doing like these field ops and stuff, and mortars have to be set up before everybody else, you're gonna have to get up early. You're gonna have to it's gonna be cold as fuck. It's just, there's good and there's bad that comes with it. But I cannot believe I've never, ever, ever talked about being a mortarman on my channel, and I'm a freaking mortarman. That's freaking wild. That's wild. But guys, hopefully you learned something. Hopefully you got an insight. And guys, it just really feels good to be back, especially on my birthday. It's just, yeah, I just miss y'all so much. I want to be able to do these lives, guys, but I'm just so bogged down sometimes and so busy. I just gotta relax. But I'm gonna try to do better, guys, and try to at least do some reactions to some military stuff or some military news, or just do something, put some kind of content out there for y'all, because I do definitely miss y'all. But guys, if you haven't followed me on Instagram, please go follow me on Instagram. Go support my real estate page. I'm about to start doing this bartending stuff. I'm actually in the works of writing a book for y'all about the Marine Corps. Also thinking about some new channel ideas as far as real estate, bartending, all that. So if you don't follow me on Instagram, make sure you go follow me on Instagram so you can keep up with me, guys. And it just feels good to just be able to have shared this with y'all on my birthday, guys. And as always, guys, thanks for watching.